What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden.
I'm Chris Lumsden.
And we're going to continue with the hobby stock motor teardown over here. And hopefully get it down to the bare bones and see what the rest of this thing looks like. So let's get to work. So my brother over here is going to start working on pulling the oil pump off real quick. It's just the 5/8, whatever, you know. And then we're going to end up taking off this timing chain, sliding the cam out, see how
wonderful it looks.
Yeah, I saw you almost F-bomb that. How Flintstones meet the Flintstones. Yep. That cam looks. And then we'll probably start pulling some pistons out and maybe get the crank out of here. Again, my brother's limited on time. He's got to go to work shortly hereafter. How's that thing look? Just at a quick glance. Yeah, nothing over there looks torn up or nothing. So sweet. All right, gonna put you guys on time lapse. Actually, I don't even know if we're gonna put you on time lapse. Instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull these 3 bolts, get the timing chain off, get the timing chain set to the side. This gear will stay on the crank, but this one will come off, and then we're gonna pull the cam out and we'll review the cam. But let us get that pulled off and we'll be back at you. All right, we got the timing chain off. Here's a quick tip. If you want to see if your timing chain's worn out, other than all of the looseness that's in it, right? If you look at your timing chain and you just let it kind of hang sideways here, it'll droop a lot. It'll have like a huge droop to one side like that. That's one really easy way to tell if your timing chain's worn out, just for future reference. Set that down real quick. Brother's about to pull out the cam. We don't care about this cam, so he's not necessarily going to be very tender with it. If it was a cam we were trying to keep, we would probably roll it nice and easy. But you gotta kind of rotate it to get it to come out. A waddle bat. There we go. Here we go. And we're out. Sweet. All right. What do we see first thing off the bat here? What are we looking at?
We got some ugly lobes.
Ugly lobes. Yeah, that one's not very loby anymore.
That one's
really not very. Oh man, these things are like rounded way off, and if you look at the plane, like these are usually kind of straight across. This is really domed in this direction. I don't know if you guys can see it very well on camera, but
that's closer to how it's supposed to look.
Yeah, that's a little closer to how it's supposed to look for comparison. See how it's more flat across the top there. Doesn't really have any crazy rounding on any of the edges. Not so much on these other ones.
Yeah,
so,
some of these are hammered hard. That one's hammered.
Which is crazy. I mean, we got what? 2 races?
2 races out of this.
Yeah, we got 2 races on this. So
one on an old tranny, one on a brand new tranny, and that was it.
Yeah. So even with only 2 races, which is not very many laps, right? This thing got chewed up pretty good. And we're going to take a gander here. I kind of want to look at the gear back here. It doesn't look like the cam gear.
Yeah, the cam gear's not chewed up, which is weird because the distributor gear was.
But far as cam, I'm not 100% sure.
So the only thing I can actually read is the YR.
Yeah. We're going to have to, usually the cam number is on this side, which is the, you know, of course not the side that you can readily see right there. It's on the side that's up against the, yeah, blocked by a freeze plug. So we're gonna have to get some really good look to see if we can find a number on this thing. But as soon as we find that, we'll get back to you when we start move over to the pistons as well. All right, so I'm not 100% sure what that cam was. Usually it's got better markings than that. Maybe they're worn off or something. I'm not 100% sure. But we're gonna go ahead and start loosening up all of the
Sorry.
all of the caps here, so we can remove the pistons. These are the rod caps. So we're gonna slide all the pistons out, take a look at those, and then most likely we'll end up taking the main caps off. This is a 2-bolt main block. It is a, if you look really close into the dirt there, it is an 010 block. We really like to use 010 blocks because they're a higher nickel content block. Makes them just a little bit stronger. So that's usually what we go with, right? Yeah. So we'll get this thing torn apart. I think we're gonna have some more mess on our hands here pretty soon. But we do need to look at...
Good thing it's not my garage.
Yeah, we're making messes everywhere around here. We do need to look at what the size of the pistons and stuff are. We'll get one out and we'll take a look at it real quick. We'll kind of show you how we pull a piston out. Go ahead and I think we'll just fully... What do you think? Fully take one piston out real quick?
Yeah, we can pull one out real
and
quick.
Show them how we do it. So go ahead and... I'm also playing cameraman right now. So make sure when you're pulling these apart that you're keeping the rod caps and rods together. What they come off of is what they go together with. Giving it a nice little tap-a-roo to loosen it up. The other one I like to do is I'll get like a piece of wood or something. I'll set it right on the tips here and give that a tap.
You got a piece of wood because this one's being stubborn.
That's a really good question. I don't know if I got a piece of wood or not. Checking that back corner over there of the shop. But we'll get this thing tapped out here. But like I was saying, make sure that these are together with the rod that you take them off of. And then we usually like to set the pistons out in order of where they came out of the cylinders, just in case they're going to go back in, because they have they've become mated, where, you know, that cylinder has worn with the piston, so they kind of match each other. So if you're taking it apart and putting it back together, you want to put them back together in, you know, the cylinder that they came out of. You get her loose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just needed a little bit of a tap-a-roo. Yeah. And then usually...
don't look too bad.
Yeah. That main bearing don't... Or main bearing. Rod bearing. Rod bearing don't look too terrible. That ain't bad.
Nothing.
The crank don't look bad at first glance here. But, okay. This will be weird with less than ideal number of hands. Okay, we're gonna see if we can do this successfully. Yeah, so some people put what what most of us call like a condom on these, which is usually like just a piece of rubber or something to keep the threads here from nicking the crankshaft at all when you're going in or out. You can use like a piece of hose or whatever, but the goal here is to push this out of this hole of the cylinder without doing any damage to the crank. You can do it with nice little tap-a-roos and usually be successful. I have my hand down here to catch. And here we go. And see here, he moved to tapping on the center of the rod rather than
get a little more force behind it. Ruining anything.
Yeah, rather than continually tapping on the piston. All right, so we got this out. There's that. Of course,
this is one of the ones that was dirty.
That is one of the really dirty ones. Well, we have a size. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it on camera, but I can barely make it out. Looks like an 060. You want to take that rag and maybe wipe it down where they can see it.
Yep, definitely an 060 on there.
Yeah, so usually on the piston, especially aftermarket pistons, you can see, so this has got, man, how can I get it? But there's an 060 right there. It's really hard to see. I'm just gonna, stamped into the head of the piston. That is to let you know that it is bored. This block has already been bored 60 over, 60 thousandths of an inch over what the standard stock block is, in case you were wondering what that meant. So yeah, that's not a great sign for us. We usually don't build a motor past 60 over. 60 over is usually our max. We tend to find that if you go over that, you start to have overheating problems and other issues. So usually 60 over is max. So what that means for us in our current build, with this whole situation here,
hopefully the block is good.
basically what he just said. Hopefully the block is good. If the block is good, then we'll be able to find another set of 60 over pistons and reassemble this engine. If not, if it says that it needs to be bored because the cylinder walls are too messed up, then we're going to be finding another block and basically starting over.
This will become a stock one in somebody's car.
Yeah, this will get. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we would toss it, but we might put dish pistons and stuff back into it and set it aside for somebody's pickup or something, you know. But for a race car, we don't really want to go over that 60 over. So one of the things we'll be checking on now. But you saw us take that out. We're gonna do that real quick, going all the way down. Get all of these out, and then what do you think? If we have the time, we'll yank the crank out?
Yeah, I think we can pull the crank.
Cool. And then that should, other than taking these two bolts out and taking the little assembly for the filter to screw on to.
Filter adapter.
Yeah, the filter adapter. Yeah, that thing. Anyways, other than taking that off, it's basically just remove the other 7 pistons, take out the crank, remove that. So we're going to go ahead and have it the pistons, and when we go to do the crank, I'll probably bring the camera back on. Okay, just got the last piston out. We were kind of looking over this crank a little bit, and other than the dirt from us touching it, I think it looks pretty good. I didn't see any real scoring or scarring or divots or anything bad like that in there. Look at your hand, man. Look at, what are you doing over here? You just
taking a bath.
Taking a bath.
Oil bath. I was told those were good for you.
Good for the skin. 1540. Anyways. Also tastes really good on Jack in the Box tacos, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyways, do not eat oil. Okay, public service announcement. Everything that you see in these videos is just 2 guys working in their garage. This is in no way, shape, or form mechanical advice, nutrition advice, anything like that. We are not giving advice of any shape or form. Yeah, don't do anything stupid is basically what we're trying to say. So please, nobody eat 1540 weight oil and come back and be like, but you guys said it was delicious.
It's really not.
It's really not. Don't do it, okay?
It don't taste that good.
It's sad that like with YouTube's new policies and stuff, if you say something like that, you have to be like, no, we're not serious.
Yeah.
But hey, we're not serious. Come on, guys. Something we did notice though here, you can look down in right here, and this is oil passages. There's a bunch of silicone down in these oil passages, which is kind of crazy. Have we ever built a motor that's done that before?
No.
So, like, I'm kind of...
Yeah, that's straight up silicone.
That's silicone. I am rather confused as to where all of that silicone came from. Granted, man, this was a long time this motor was put together. It wasn't like a torn down, cleaned up, put back together motor. It was like a pull that cam out, slide this cam in.
No, we did make Jordan wash it by hand with soap and water.
That was the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the block.
But I mean, other than that, we really didn't do.
Yeah, we didn't really do a whole lot. I
think most of that was just to torture Jordan. So. Yeah,
mostly. Night before a race, and he's in there pouring water on it. We were making him grow an engine. No, like it was. That's not normal for one of our engines. But of course, neither is. If you look down in there, look at that cylinder. Okay, look at this one. See how it's nice and roundy round? Look at this one. Chewed like a mountaintop. I think that's the only one. So at one point in time in this engine's life, it
come apart in the wrong way.
It had a bad day. All right, so I believe it's 5/16. We're gonna go ahead and put it on
5/8.
That's what I meant. 5/8. Oh my. Yeah. My brain, my math right now is so tough. I could not add 8 to 50. No, what was I adding to? 8 to 46 a little earlier today. So let's not. I was having dumb. Today's my dumb day. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, 5/8. I'm gonna pull these off. You'll notice on your caps they usually have arrows. This is a small block 350. They usually have arrows pointing the direction that they face. Sometimes you'll get lucky enough and your machinist will have done a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and stamped them in here so you know what order that they go in. You need a battery. Yes. Battery is plugged in over there. Yeah, gonna do that. Get this bad boy pulled out and looked at. But I'm feeling pretty hopeful. Oh, okay. He's like almost got to leave, so he's got like a whopping. What do you have? 10 minutes on your clock?
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's got about 10 minutes on the clock to be able to. Man, nothing like I almost need to like start these videos with the timer when he has time to go and like put that down. That would be cool. I don't know how to do that yet, but future videos, that's an idea. Anytime he's under the gun to leave, we'll try to do timer stuff. Anyways, yeah, just pulling these off. When we pull the crank out, we'll take a look at it real quick, and then kind of a quick overview of the block. We'll roll the block over, quick overview real quick. Man, I'm saying quick a lot. Is it because we're in a hurry? That's because we're in a hurry. All right, let me come back to you. I gotta help. All right, well, good news and bad news. Good news is all the main caps are off. Bad news is, if you look here, you can kind of see this little groove, this really shiny spot going right here. Whoop. Let me point from this side right here. There are a couple of the main bearings that kind of look like that, which also, if we come over to the crank, can you wipe this crank right here? We'll see if we can get it to show.
Clean spot on the rack.
Yeah, right. So now you can plainly see that line. It's a pretty decent little groove. So that pretty much tells us right away that if this crank is going to be reused, it's going to be getting polished. There's some grooving on this one. This one went all right. This grooved. This one's got a mild groove, and this one's got a mild groove over here. The thrust portion of this looks pretty good though, of this crank. So
let me lift this crank out real quick.
Yeah, he's gonna pull the crank out. I can give you one hand to help until it's out. Doesn't usually take, one person can usually pull them out. I'm just, you know, if you wanted my help. Nice and easy, boom, look at that. So this is the side that has the oil passages, like the actual oil grooves. So those grooves are normal for those of you that don't know that. But that, man, back to that chunked out thing, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that had the rod come apart at one point in time.
Yeah. So not a whole lot of like
PC though.
Not a whole lot of great news. Not a whole lot of terrible news on the other side of that, right? But do you want to flip this over so we can kind of look at the cylinder walls real quick?
Yeah.
Let's take a gander at these cylinder walls.
Let me grab a clean rag so we can actually, you know, clean them.
Yeah. First thing I'm checking here, I know he hasn't cleaned them, but I'm feeling for ridges. I'm not really feeling any ridges at the top of these. That's a good note.
Yeah, mother hasn't been run long enough to get ridges.
Right. Once he gets the cylinders cleaned out, then the next thing to look at was if there was any damage from, if there was any scoring. In our case, if there was any.
That one will need to be honed for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So talked about rust. So there's a little bit of rust down in here. Could probably hone that out. Can probably hone this little bit out down here as well. I'm not seeing any real grooves or major scoring or anything like that. But then again, I like to actually take my time, use a flashlight, wipe the cylinders out really well and actually look. Probably won't do that with you guys, but as an overview, cylinders still look good, but uh-oh, did you find one that was ugly? Did you find a spot that was ugly?
Run your finger across there.
Ooh, yeah, okay. There's a spot that's a little ugly right there. So we got decisions to make. Yeah, I just put a bunch of nasty on top, over the top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of scarring through here.
Alrighty, so we have decisions to make. Whether we need to start over with a new block, or if we think we can save this one for one more go around. So anyways, that is going to be the end of, sorry, we missed one thing that we didn't do. And I'm surprised we pulled the cam out when we did it. We left the fuel pump rod in. We left this plate on the fuel pump rod. I saw it earlier.
I thought we pulled that yesterday.
No, we didn't. So other than these two bolts coming off and the fuel pump rod coming out, which you should take out before you slide the cam out. Usually. Sorry, I didn't even think about it. This is what happens. This is what happens when we break it up into different days, right? Usually, if we're on a roll and we're just doing it in one shot, we don't miss anything. But
and it don't help it, you know.
Don't miss that.
Usually a hurry.
Yeah.
Right
So,
now.
all right, we're gonna stop. This is the teardown portion, and this was the end of the teardown. So part 2. It'll probably be a while before we start doing the actual put together portion, because now we got to do some planning and come up with some parts and pieces and all of that happy stuff. So with that being said, Tis, we practiced this last video.
Like, subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns, comment below. Have a great day. Did I miss something? I know I missed something.
He's doing all right. No,
I am not a cameraman.
yeah, he's doing all right. Let me know down below how you think Tis is doing on his exit. But Please do not forget to like and subscribe. You know, smash that thumbs up button.
Thumbs up.
That's the like, by the way. The like and thumbs up button is the same thing. He's got a lot to learn about YouTube, too. Any questions, comments, concerns down below. We're going to release these videos out to you guys and then continue on with the build and all that other happy stuff. I got a lot of work to do on the modified if we're going to go race Vegas, which it still looks and sounds like I am going to make a push to do that. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you next time.